Yeah, wow. That is
Wow.
unfortunate, Laura. I mean, this moral ambiguity here, you can't trade, I'm sorry, with apologies to the Holy Father, he knows this, because you can't say a grave, always evil act like abortion is on the same par with unfettered immigration or the death penalty. By the way, the death penalty is the church's response to those who take innocent lives. The church has always, from Augustine to Pius X to John Paul II, said they don't prefer it, but the death penalty is an option and morally illicit if it's carried out without vengeance. The Holy Father has a cleanup act to do here.
Before I address just how unhinged these comments from Fox contributor Raymond Arroyo are, let's take a look at what prompted such a fierce rebuke of the newest pope.
Someone who says I'm against abortion but says I'm in favor of the death penalty is not really pro-life. So someone who says that I'm against abortion but I'm in agreement with the inhuman treatment of immigrants who are in the United States, I don't know if that's pro-life. But I would ask first and foremost that there be greater respect for one another and that we search together both as human beings, in that case as American citizens or citizens of the state of Illinois, as well as Catholics, to say we need to really look closely at all of these ethical issues and to find the way forward.
Compared to what we've heard from other popes and leaders of different Christian sects over the years, this response from Leo seemed much more measured and reasonable than what one could have expected, especially given how the right wing has hijacked Christianity as a whole to achieve their political goals, which just so happen to be incongruent with the actual teachings of the religion.
The greatest moment in history for any brown or black country is the moment that the white man's ships arrive on your shore. Because he brings the gospel of Jesus Christ, he catechizes you and your children, he brings exports, he brings hospitals, medicine, life expansion increases, GDP and resources increase, medicine increases, and most importantly, you get taught the gospel of Jesus Christ so that you can live longer on earth and then go to heaven instead of hell.
We want communism snuffed out completely in this country, and the communists know it. They know that that was probably too far. Uh-oh, oopsie, we look bad. Everyone knows we're demons. Now is the time to purge them from our shores. No. No peace with demons.
To say that the church and the state are separate in their in the principle of their authority, and the principle being Jesus Christ, is, I believe, it's blasphemous to say that Jesus Christ isn't Lord of Lords and King of Kings. And that means not just over the home, not just over the church, but in every sphere.
These are just some of the people and some of the disgusting beliefs that the right wing is actively championing as the, quote, real Christians and what, quote, real Christianity should be. Although by now, you should also know that these fundamentalists are much more closely related to the belief system of other extremist fundamentalist groups like the Taliban than they are to anything that resembles the core tenets of Christianity.
In reality, the death penalty is pro-life. The death penalty is something that you do because you cherish and value the lives of the innocent people who fall victim to these heinous, barbaric, animalistic predators. If you really truly value the lives of these innocent people, then you would call for the ultimate penalty for anyone who takes someone's life, takes the life of an innocent.
First of all, Matt Walsh is just ridiculous and absurd to make that statement with a straight face. No. Being in favor of the death penalty does not mean you're pro-life, okay? Because you cherish the lives of innocent civilians, right? No. If you follow the core tenets of Christianity, you would not be in favor of the death penalty. As Pope Leo pointed out, how can you say you're pro-life, right? When you say you're against abortion, okay, but then you're in favor of the death penalty, or you're in favor of inhumane treatment against immigrants. No, it doesn't work like that. And the thing with Walsh and these other Christian nationalists, they are so inconsistent with their claim to be pro-life. And it really is connected to the Republican Party and the issues that they champion. We're talking about unfettered access to guns. That doesn't scream pro-life, as we've seen so many lives taken from gun violence in America. The destruction of social safety nets, that's another way to derail somebody's life. And how about being anti-universal health care, education? All those things, they're not about being pro-life. They're not about ensuring the quality of life for individuals.
You know, you have masked men with large weapons that are simply disappearing people from their homes. We're talking about children being stripped away from their parents. We're talking about workers that are being targeted, tear gas being spread throughout these individuals who are protesting and resisting these, what we are clear about, egregious acts and an overreach of the Constitution.
So I don't know if right-wingers understand this, but they should. Their whole anti-immigrant bigotry goes against their claim of being pro-life, because people who are actually pro-lifers, they understand the inherent value in the dignity for all humans, right? No matter the race, right? The sex, the religion, no matter what stage of development they're in, they believe and they see the value in human life. So if you're against the immigrants, all right, you have all these bigoted views, you're not really pro-life, people.
Will ICE have enforcement at the Super Bowl for the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show?
Benny, there is nowhere that you can provide safe haven to people who are in this country illegally, not the Super Bowl and nowhere else. We will find you. We will apprehend you. We will put you in a detention facility and we will deport you. So know that that is a very real situation under this administration, which is completely contrary to how it used to be.
You know, year after year, NFL, you just keep messing up with these shows. And you should know better. You know I'm fragile. I was going to boycott this season anyway. I've been boycotting every year for the last 10 years, and I'm not quiet about it. I made it known. And then what do you stop doing? You stop catering to somebody like me, a guy who wasn't going to watch anyway. This is ridiculous. I'm not happy unless I'm mad. And did you know Bad Bunny's not even from the United States? I bet not. That means something, being from the United States. Just ask The Weeknd, Rihanna, and Coldplay. Here's a little preview of my review of this year's Super Bowl 4 months in advance. That halftime show, that was demonic. It was gay. It was anti-ICE. It was unpatriotic. It was too sexual. It made me think. I couldn't understand a word he was saying, and he didn't speak no English.
It's so asinine for Republicans to be threatening to send ICE to the Super Bowl, as if undocumented immigrants could afford to go to the Super Bowl. And then it's not lost on me the irony from these right-wingers, because there is so much absurdity in them getting upset about Bad Bunny performing when they're the same group of people who love to complain and express to anybody who's going to listen to them about how the left and progressives are so sensitive and they can't take jokes, or, you know, anything gets to them when it's not going their way. Oh, but you're all riled up about Bad Bunny performing because you know what he stands for and you don't like it. That makes you uncomfortable. And Bad Bunny said, I'm going to do it anyway. All right? Rebel HQ, I'm Chris Williamson. We'll see you next time.